In this tutorial, we'll show you how to install the Cloudwheel Rovers 165R kit on your belt drive Exway Atlas or Atlas Pro. To get started, prepare a set of Cloudwheel Rovers including the pulleys and belts, a skate tool, a T20 Torx key, and medium-strength thread locker. We recommend using Loctite 243, but feel free to use another brand. Installing the front wheels. This section applies to the two-wheel drive Atlas and Atlas Pro. With your skate tool, undo one of the axle nuts on the front truck. Then, remove the outer washer, the wheel, and the inner washer. Slip a bearing onto the axle and press down on it with a rover to install the bearing. Take the wheel off again and put another bearing onto the axle. Also, put on a spacer. Put the rover back on with the other side facing down. Press down on the wheel to install the spacer and the other bearing. Check to make sure the bearings are flush in the bearing seats. Slide a washer onto the axle and put the rover on with the printed side facing out. Center the spacer with a tool if needed. Then, put on the outer washer and then the axle nut. Tighten the nut with your skate tool until it's snug. If you find that the wheel doesn't spin freely, loosen the nut by 1/8 of a turn to ensure the bearings are not over-tightened. Repeat the same steps for the other side. Installing the drive wheels. With your skate tool, undo one of the axle nuts. Remove the outer washer, the wheel, and the thick washer. Use the Torx key to undo the screws and remove the motor pulley cover. Loosen the 4 screws holding the motor, but don't remove the screws. Then, remove the belt and the wheel pulley. Put on the rover's pulley and belt. Turn the pulley a few times to move it into place if needed. Adjust the belt tension by pulling the motor away from the truck. At the same time, use the Torx key to tighten 2 of the 4 motor screws in a diagonal order. On the other 2 screws, apply a drop of thread locker onto each and screw them onto the bracket. Then, do the same for the first 2 screws. Be careful not to lose their washers. Reinstall the motor pulley cover with a drop of thread locker applied to each of the 2 screws. Place the thick washer onto the rover's pulley. Mount a rover with the printed side facing out. Center the spacer with a tool if needed. Put on the outer washer. Tighten the axle nut until it's snug, and then loosen it by 1/8 of a turn. Repeat these steps for the remaining drive wheels. All done! See you in the next tutorial!